So, Nooch.
You did it. We spent so much time saying, okay, we're not going to start this show by saying the word so.
Well, I just brought it to your attention that we tend to do that. And,
you did.
You were like, all right, we'll do something else this time.
It's so...
And you put it on me to do it, but
I know.
I still just...
It's so unnerving when you realize you have a weird habit of doing something. It's just awkward thing. Okay, well, here's what I want to...
That's one of the problems with doing a show like this, is that you hear yourself and you hear how often you say things.
Yeah.
And you realize you sound like an idiot.
Really self-critical when you're listening to yourself. Well, look, here's what I wanted to mention to you. Okay, so you know how there's this trend of films that have this similar like motif or theme where they do like bad something, like bad Santa,
bad
grandpa, bad what's another bad teacher.
Bad teacher. Yeah, there's like a whole subgenre.
There's a whole subgenre of bad
normally
X.
Not bad
and
person.
usually what it's meant to, or it's not even normally a bad person. Normally not a normally bad category of person, grandfather, Santa, teacher, and the thing is this: when it comes to those classes, it's like it's a dirty grandpa, funny, or the teacher's being kind of bad, that's funny, or like what was the other one? Santa Claus being bad,
drunk
funny.
Santa,
drunk
oh
Santa,
God.
that's funny.
Yeah,
but dude, there's one subcategory of that where I was like, dude, that's kind of not funny. I don't know. The new one, I mean, listen, I haven't seen the movie, so it might be a really funny movie, but Bad Moms. When I heard of the Bad Moms movie, I was like, oh man, I'm a little sad. Like a bad mom's like a serious.
That's a real problem for
that's
someone.
That's a real problem for some kids. Like I don't know. I was like, that's not funny. I don't know.
Bad grandpa's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be, but it's like, they're old, so they're allowed.
There's something, there's something endearing about it. Yeah. But just
not your parents.
Observation. Yeah, it's the observation I had for today.
So Halloween episode.
Yeah, let's.
Listen, we have to introduce it as a Halloween
That's
episode.
That's true. We have it's a Halloween episode, and thus you'll see a change in our usual. It would be much better if our music was actually like Halloween themed music, but we only changed one thing, which you might notice. If you don't notice it, then there's the same exact episode you're used to. Don't say that to our fans. All right,
fans.
All right, here we go.
It would have been mine if it hadn't been for those meddling kids and their dog.
Can I just say that there's something? Listen, I know that every week on the show we have Courtney, Ryan, me. We're always like the trio here. Ryan and me, we're best friends. So one thing that I just thought was kind of funny is just like having. So the guest for today, we're gonna introduce her in a second, but
dude, collect yourself.
I know I'm trying, but I have to make this comment. Okay, let's introduce the guest, and then I'll make my comment.
Okay.
So our guest for today,
Mindy,
is Mindy Kindheart.
Welcome
to the show, Mindy.
Thank you.
Mindy is Courtney's best friend.
Was
Something
that
like that? Or
was that?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Wow, they both shrugged. They are not.
I assumed you guys were, because in every context.
We've known
Also,
each
you know
other
what's-
for a long
what's
time.
funny
Like
is
20 years. Yeah. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, but sure, sure. Why not? We've never put a label on it. Before,
Yeah, I mean-
so
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
I guess they're more secure than we are.
Yeah, we don't need to label things.
yeah.
Today was my first day meeting Mindy, and every single time Noosh has ever referenced you, it's always been, oh yeah, Courtney's best friend Mindy. That's your name to him.
Yeah. The thing is, when something gets stuck in my head, eventually it becomes that. Like, my world revolves around. They are best friends. The world would shake if they weren't.
There's also another thing that you thought about Courtney for a
I
while.
was just thinking about
that's
that.
true.
Like your other
My world didn't shake.
epiphany that you had
Did you know about
last
that?
week.
For the longest time, since the Ken's going away party that I met you guys, well, not you, but met Courtney at least, I thought Courtney was a lesbian for like the longest time. But it's only.
I really want to get to the bottom of that, though. Like, what
No
made
one
you?
knows why.
I'll
Not
tell
even
you.
he knows
no,
why.
I'll tell you. I don't know the exact details of the conversation, but I know the exact setting. We were sitting in that like parlor room.
Yeah.
Like some of us were on the floor, some were on chairs. We're playing a game, I think.
Yeah.
And I just remember I went to the restroom, and then I walked back, and then I heard Ashley's cousin and you, and there was like 2, maybe 3 girls or something. They were talking, and I just remember them saying something about you living with someone, she, and there was...
It might have been Mindy, because we've been roommates before.
Yeah, we lived together.
Well, I think it was your sister. Like, now that I know you have
Okay.
do you live with her? I don't...
Well, no, my sister recently moved out, but
Okay, but it was something along the lines. I think it was your sister, and
Okay.
I just misunderstood the context of what I heard. I didn't hear the whole thing, so the context of what I heard, I just thought, oh, she's a lesbian. Oh, that's cool. And in my mind, because that's never been, I hadn't seen you until we started doing the show.
Yeah.
So I just in my mind, I was like, oh yeah. And I remember actually one time we were having a conversation. I think we brought up, Courtney's gonna join us on the show, blah blah. And I don't know how it came about, but I remember telling JB too. Oh yeah, I think Courtney's a lesbian actually.
No, I think your words were, "Isn't she? She's a lesbian, though, right?"
Yeah.
And JB
But
was
then
like,
that also makes
what?
another question for me. Why were you talking about me?
I don't know. I mean, I know we were talking about you in the
It was
context
about
of, it was a show.
it was
I just
about
don't remember how it.
I'm
you being
messing with
a
you guys,
host.
but-
Yeah.
Wow, we got like it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
So defensive.
So listen, boy talk is as sacred as girl talk.
Let's not do the.
But okay, what I was gonna say though was that like maybe this goes along with exactly what you don't want me to say.
Probably.
All I know is this
you
because
don't
I saw you
care.
guys like I didn't turn on all the mics yet, and I remember you guys like both looked at each other and you looked at me like hey, like do something. And I realized like me and Ryan we don't look at each other enough and like make faces and then look at Courtney like we know something about each other.
We've
and-
had whole conversations just with facial expressions.
Yep.
I mean,
It's a
that's
female
how
thing,
we would
though.
communicate in class. If we weren't sending notes, we just look at each other and we'd have whole conversations.
Yep.
We
we can read each other's thoughts sometimes.
And this is
usually
why we don't
no.
do
I
best friend
think I
title.
think what happens with us
Yeah.
is more one of us will go, dude, and then we'll both say the same. Like
Yeah.
we'll both think the same
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
but verbally acknowledge it because
Yeah.
we don't do this like.
I need to know you acknowledged it because if I don't know, then I assume you didn't. You know?
Yeah, you know what it is? We do the same thing you guys do, only without the level of self-esteem. I
Yeah.
think.
That's a really,
And
really
it's just
accurate.
replaced with dude.
Yeah.
You just go, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, yeah.
I am curious as to what that conversation you overheard, though. What part you
Yeah.
heard.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's
I
just
wanna
the
hear this.
intimacy of like you and this other person who I find out, I'm assuming later was like
Okay.
your sister, but just the intimacy of the relationship. You guys lived together, and it seemed
It
like
really
you guys
was
were
just
close.
he found out you lived with another girl, and he was like, oh, she's probably a lesbian. Then.
No, it was
I
very
think that's
intimate.
probably what it
was
was.
very intimate, and it's the intimacy
Why-
of sisters. I guess
we did talk about a lot
How
of
was
stuff
it
that
very
night.
intimate, though?
Huh? I don't know.
I'm just trying to understand where the intimacy part
We
is
really
coming
opened
in.
up a can of
I
worms.
did.
I'm sorry,
look,
man.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were lesbian.
No, I'm not. I'm just very curious. That's all.
But it-
I'm curious. I'm not offended in any way. I'm just
It's
more
the most
curious about
complimentary assumption of someone being a lesbian. I mean, if I assumed it in the most complimentary fashion.
Right.
it. It's all good. It's all good.
So today's topic for today is Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. By the way, I mean I think you guys all experienced. It was hard,
Dude,
Yeah.
this was definitely
Yeah.
the worst episode for me to try to come up with something to talk about.
And
I
it's
mean, I came up
surprising.
with what I was going to talk about 2 hours ago, maybe a little longer.
I'm not gonna lie. It's like, I mean, I thought of mine last night, but I solidified it at the same time he did because I couldn't. I mean, the other thing is, you think that Halloween is easy to find stuff for, but the problem with Halloween is it all falls into the same categories.
Yeah.
Scary stories or like trick-or-treat stories. And like the trick-or-treat stories are funny, but they're very anecdotal and short, where they're not like a narrative or something
Yeah.
really long-winded you can talk
And you know,
about.
even the thing I'm actually going to talk about isn't even really related to Halloween. It's just
Yeah.
like a creepy.
Yeah, we're using
thing.
Halloween very liberally.
This is this is like the worst like holiday themed episode because I mean, at least for me, it doesn't have much to do with Halloween.
I'll
if
say
I'm
this though,
honest.
there's a lot of anecdotal things I'm gonna reference just because I'm like, man, like I discovered things and I'm like
Yeah, right.
thinking that's kind of
Along
funny.
the way.
Yeah,
but it's like a single minute.
yeah.
Just this thing's funny about Halloween: sexy lobster costumes.
There's a good experiment though for the idea of us doing themed episodes. Like I really want us to do like a Thanksgiving episode, Christmas episode, Arbor Day episode. I don't know. I mean, just whatever holidays.
National Hug Day
National-
episode.
Yeah,
All the obscure holidays.
Yeah.
yeah. So
You know what? Actually, that's good for. That's good for when we can't think of like a topic to talk
Yeah.
about. We'll just be like, what is the holiday today? Because there's like Facebook holidays now.
I mean, if you look online, there's always going to be a holiday
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
some day. Yeah,
There's something for every day.
Yep.
yeah. So I'm going to be starting today. I know. Don't even say it. Ryan.
I didn't. You said it yourself with your face.
Because I saw your face and I read your mind. Confirmed.
See, we do the same thing.
They're
We do the
learning.
same thing.
We can teach them.
Look, I'm looking at you. I'm like, nobody can see that.
Please stop.
I'm looking
doing
at
that.
Ryan intensely and nodding my head with a smile.
It's making me really uncomfortable.
It's a very ducky face.
Listen, I don't want to talk about Ducky ever again.
Pretty in Pink Ducky, not Lamb for Time Ducky.
I'm always down to talk about Land Before Time,
Yeah.
but
Lamb for Time Ducky's cool.
So cute.
Yeah.
yeah. We were the story behind the whole Ducky thing.
Yeah.
We were trying to take a new
Profile
profile picture for our page, I guess. And
Didn't work out.
someone had the idea, Noosh had the idea to do, oh man, guys, let's do the Pretty in Pink, poster thing, and he forced me to be Ducky, which
I gave you the option.
which is, listen, it's fine. But Ducky looks like he's really has to take a shit in that picture. And it was,
I'm not
it
gonna
was
lie.
hard to
Also,
copy
the fact
face.
that Molly Ringwald's facing away from him in that image, it looks like he's just taking a big whiff of her hair, just like he's just really into that.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that guy. I'm glad we didn't go for that.
I mean, we mimicked, but we didn't really. Yeah.
Inspired
Listen,
by.
but I think the person who was most
loosely
awkward
based
by
on
this, or I put in the most awkward situation, was you, because we
definitely Courtney.
kind of put this on you, Courtney, and we just.
My main thing was just like I just came from work and I just feel kind of bleh. I'm like covered with like boogers and drool. I work with kids, so so I'm just kind of like.
But that's
out
not
of
where
my,
all that came from.
So yeah, other than that, it's all good.
All right, so I will start. Basically, by the way, I mean honestly, I'm used to starting at 7:00. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, all right, we got an hour left. Like, no, we don't have an hour left. What time do we even start this? Let's just go through the whole thing. I don't even know how long this is anymore. But we should mention
we're in a new studio. We totally,
dude.
Yeah. Best friend moment. High five. Yeah, cool.
Give yourself a self five. You deserve that. Yeah. No, we are in a brand new studio because we renovated.
Sick.
Yeah. It's a new place.
It's pretty
we have
swanky.
air. We have like open air. It's windows.
You know what this is
We're
missing
above
though?
ground. Yeah.
Silky Slim posters. We don't have
I know.
any posters.
We have no
in here.
inspiration. Oh my god! I didn't introduce the show. You know, I had a plan. Okay, the way I was going to introduce the show, I kind of got off track because I started talking about Mindy, and then the way I was going to introduce the
all
show
your
is
fault,
this.
Mindy.
And no, it's not your
It's
fault.
not
Just-
my fault. He thought you were a lesbian and got him on this whole long journey.
You know what I realized? I never in my life should have mentioned the lesbian thing. This
You
is gonna
shouldn't
haunt
have,
me
honestly.
for
You
the rest
really-
of my life.
Should not have ever told anyone.
And now everyone knows.
Anyway, what were you gonna?
I was going to say, welcome to another edition of Ryan and Noosh are Undead. With Ryan.
Oh my god, because it's zombies.
Yeah.
Halloween.
But I was gonna. I mean, it just.
Golf clap.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Look. For today's episode, or today's topic that I'm a story that I'm sharing, it's about the Phantom Barber. That's the story. Basically, you guys probably are familiar with stories about these mysterious phantoms that like haunt towns for periods of time and they disappear. Maybe like Spring Heel Jack, who reigned in London from like 1837 to 1904, right? Spring Heel Jack was like this masked, cloaked guy who jumps very, very high, and they thought he had springs in his heels. The police couldn't figure out how he was jumping over walls, and he was like a very mysterious presence.
By the way, listen, I actually did not know about that story, but his name is the most unoriginal fucking thing.
Spring Heel Jack.
It's like he's got springs in
Dude,
his heels. Let's call him Spring.
People literally thought Spring Heel Jack was a demon. Like, they described him as having blue, glowing eyes, fangs, and, like, claws. Like, they thought he was a demon. And the thing is, a lot of it, of course, falls into delusion. Like, a lot of people are like, oh my god, I think I saw Spring Heel Jack. When some, like, guy in a cloak runs by.
Yeah, right. False
but,
memories
like, the idea was he's, like, this demon or person who jumps over walls. He's a monster. Then
And
there's
it's really just like...
I'm thinking of Christopher Lloyd at the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where he gets the
Oh,
springs.
yeah, that was...
You're like,
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Really, it's just a dude doing parkour. That's probably
Parkour in the 18th century.
Yeah.
So then there's other versions of this, like the Jersey Devil, 1820 1909. You're familiar with the Jersey Devil. Also, there's a guy, this was actually kind of funny, called the Phantom Black Flash. He reigned in a town like Indiana or something in 1939 to 1946. And the thing that made him funny, though, is he didn't jump around or anything like that. He just ran by people very, very fast and just unnerved people. He was wearing a black cloak.
Oh my god, he's so fast.
Yeah, and there's like photographs, quote unquote, of him. But like people were just really freaked out, like, this guy's really creepy, he's really weird. And apparently the story is he was defeated by this little boy named Louis Baker or something like that. And what the kid did was he took a pot of boiled water, and when he saw him, he threw the boiled water at this guy. Wow. And then the guy ran away, and he was never seen again.
He's not even doing
Maybe
anything.
Maybe he just enjoyed running.
Yeah.
In all black clothes.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
What?
I guess.
It's Indiana. You know, that's the problem with the story.
This
black
guy's
man
can't
run in Indiana.
Yeah, black man. Yeah, he was just a guy going for a jog. It was just racism in a different time.
Stupid. What was that kid's name?
Louis Baker or something like that.
Louis Baker. Throwing hot water on people. That's terrible.
Okay, so my story though is about the Phantom Barber, which is I only chose the story because it's not just a phantom story; it's a barber story, and that kind of adds an element to it. So. Basically, in the early days of World War II, okay, there is a town in Mississippi called Pascagoula.
I like where this is going already.
Called Pascagoula. It was a small town with a population of 5,000 people. But overnight, because of World War II, because of ship construction, the industry boomed for wartime, industry. Mm-hmm. Almost overnight, like within like a few weeks or days, the population boomed from 5,000 to 15,000 people. It was huge. And the problem with this rapid growth of population is the police force wasn't able enough to control and police and figure out what's going on and keep things orderly. So there was a lot of chaos at the time, Imagine the police force, by the way, as being very boss hog type. You know what I mean? Like it's like boss
it is
hog.
Mississippi, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
So one summer, starting on June 5th, by the way, I should mention this. The Phantom Black Flash was a Halloween story. That was during Halloween. That whole thing went down.
June.
This is in June, unfortunately. I wish it was Halloween.
We are totally winning this
Halloween thing. Yeah.
Go us.
So, June 5th, 1942, the town was terrorized by a specter known as the Phantom Barber. And how it went down is this. On June 5th, 1942, it was a Friday. Two young preteen girls, they're like 12, 13 years old. They lived in a convent. Mary Evelyn Briggs and Edna Marine Heidel. They woke up in the middle of the night and to find a man was climbing out of their bedroom window. And by the way, there's something creepy about a guy climbing into your window, but there's something even creepier about something climbing out because whatever they did, they're done. That is creepy.
And you don't know.
Exactly.
So they woke up and they freaked out because this guy was climbing out of their window. And the thing that really freaked them out, though, after they woke up, was that their hair was cut. Oh. Like, that is to say, they got a trim. Their hair was cut.
Was it like a nice haircut?
Because
I'd be really impressed if it was like, oh my god, he cut my. I mean, it looks nice, but
great.
I got the bob I wanted.
Like, yeah, he invented the bob in like the 19.
He's like the haircut fairy.
The haircut fairy. So yeah, I mean, basically they woke up with like a huge haircut, and they were like, their hair was all cut off, much shorter. I really love the description that Briggs gives about this guy. She described him, and this is the literal quote, it's described him as sort of short, sort of fat, and he was wearing a white sweatshirt.
Wow.
With a southern accent, though, because she's from Mississippi, right? So
yeah. I'm not going to do my Indian accent. That is an imitation of
I
southern.
Was hoping you would try, but...
So, he was sort of short and sort of fat, and he was wearing a white sweatshirt.
That
wasn't that bad.
Forrest Gumpy.
Yeah.
Wasn't too Indian.
Yeah, I mean, somebody in Mississippi's gonna be like, that sounds more like Alabama, not like us in Mississippi. So Phantom Barber struck again 3 days later. On a Monday, he cuts open a window screen with scissors I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Climbs in to the bedroom of 6-year-old Carol Petey, who was sleeping in her bed with her twin brother. And this is how you can tell, though, he has like a thing. I mean, either it's because the boy's hair is too short, or it's because he has a thing for like females. But he only cut Carol's hair, and he gave her like this huge short trim, so her hair's all cut down, significantly.
Well, I would imagine you wouldn't do it on the boy because it's not long enough to not disturb him.
Yeah, I mean that would be the case. I mean,
it is pretty hard to cut a guy's hair without touching his head.
Yeah, that's true. But
I mean, want to injure them. That's not
depending on how the girl's sleeping. Like he was artistic in how he must have got in there to get that trim in.
By the way, does it say anywhere if he like left the hair or if he took it with him?
He took it with him.
Some type of a fetish.
Yeah. So he's just got like
he's got
hair
some fetish
dolls
stuff
and just
going on. He's like
sniffing
smelling
hair.
it. Yeah.
God.
So there was a panic. Like, the town was panicked. They were terrified that somebody's going to be cutting their hair. I mean, that is their primary concern at this point.
Real quick, you know what I just realized also? I've been to Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mississippi is the most humid place I've ever been in my life. So doesn't, like, hair, like, frizz up when it's
on
humid?
Your hair
Wouldn't that make it easier to cut? Sticks up for you?
I guess, yeah.
That's logistics.
Well, no, because if it's poofy, it'll get more of that, like, afro texture, kind of.
Yeah.
So.
But this guy didn't care. He just wanted to get those locks.
Also, it probably smelled bad.
Yeah. He probably smelled bad because Briggs
kind
did
of
say
short, kind of fat,
short.
Wearing a white sweatshirt.
That description kind of insinuates he smelled also.
Yeah, and I mean he's climbing through windows in Mississippi.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Later on, I'm looking at my
notes.
In the
summer too.
Yeah,
it has happened in June,
dude,
right?
June.
He stank, bro. He had some.
I'm not gonna lie. Also, I looked at my notes. Later on, somebody does confirm he smells. It's confirmed. So the town was in a panic. They were terrified that people were going to get haircuts in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm sure they're more panicked about somebody breaking into their house, but it's also just the bodily violation of getting a haircut.
Right.
Yeah. The police were on edge. They were just like, all right, they got their guns ready, and they're just ready to take somebody out for this. They deputized 6 men in order to hunt this guy down. They brought in bloodhounds from another county. And they were just like, we're going to find this guy based on, like, clues or evidence, the
or
scent.
Smells.
They had a theory, and this is like their working theory at the time. They're like, this guy hides a bicycle in the woods to escape every night. That was their working theory at the time. Like,
what?
that's how he's getting
that's like
away.
a weirdly specific.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
how do you think he's getting away from the scene? He must have a bike in the woods.
Well, I
also,
guess
it doesn't.
It's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean,
big distance.
that's true.
They probably saw bike tracks or something.
Okay, guys, everybody shit on Ryan's joke.
Well, I mean, I'll support your joke in one way. It is just like one of those things where, like, okay, well, boss hog. I mean, yeah, I guess, but it doesn't really help us much just knowing he rides a bicycle. Just, all right, he comes from...
Yeah, I mean, he could easily just walk away. I mean, if he's just this unassuming, kind of short, kind of fat guy in a white sweatshirt...
I mean, he's just a nice, kindly old man in a sweater.
And as long as he's not walking around with, like, bundles of hair and his fists...
Screaming.
I mean, if he's got...
Jumping over walls with the spring heels, you know?
As long as he's just walking down the street, I don't think he needs a bike. Also, he's fat. Why is he riding a bike?
I mean, exercise, too? I don't...
Right,
this guy's got a lot going on.
But he does. He's like very complex.
He is a complex. Listen, somebody's breaking into your house, giving people haircuts for free, And look, I'm gonna assume they were fabulous. They were fabulous haircuts.
I want to believe they were. Yeah.
Something good in this. So okay, here's the thing though. This is where I want to tell you about this incident, but I want to tell you that there's actually conflict about this incident. So the thing is, after that Monday, the following Friday, two Fridays later, it got violent. He broke into the Heidelberg home, and instead of cutting anybody's home, he took a heavy iron bar, busted up Mrs. Heidelberg's front teeth, and then knocked her husband unconscious.
That escalated quickly.
Did he even take any hair?
Some people think it was a frame-up. Because some people genuinely believe, like, there was an MO to this guy.
Yeah.
Breaking in, cutting hair. Whoever did this thing was using this fear to do this one thing.
I'm going to use my Law and Order knowledge because I watched that show. I mean, that's a pretty big escalation.
Yeah.
And, he hasn't harmed anyone except for cutting
their hair. To be fair, though, he's only struck 2 times before this, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, this is MO.
Did he have an MO?
This is pre... Criminal Minds, Law and Order. This Boss Hog.
Pre-SVU.
Boss Hog is basically standing there. He's like, looks like he took a ride through the woods, put his sunglasses on, cue music.
I'm calling foul. I don't think that's
unless they caught him, and that's why he went and defended himself.
Yeah.
Like maybe that because that
why you cut my hair?
Yeah, and grab the first thing.
So what happens next is this. So people don't believe it's MO. People are like, no, he cuts hair. He doesn't bust up teeth. So later on a Sunday night...
I like that people are defending him. Like, they're like, nah, man, that's not him. He wouldn't do that.
You know what it is? It's that small town thing where you have like a local legend, and you're like, nah. This guy's...
Yeah,
if the local legend's not violent, if it's like something that's kind of like a quirky thing...
Yeah.
It's like endearing the chupacabra kind of. Like,
It's terrifying, but it's also like, it's kind of our thing. So on a Sunday night, R.R. Taylor, and this is the quote about the smell, she was awoken by something with a sickening smell that passed near her, and she woke up to him trying to cut her hair.
Ew.
And so she screams, he flees, And he took whatever he cut from her hair and left. For 2 months, for 2 more months, people lived in terror about this guy because they're already now afraid of the whole busting up their teeth thing.
Yeah, right. He took my hair and my teeth.
They lived in perpetual fear of this guy. The police, though, later found something to pin the crimes, or they had to finish this whole investigation 2 months later. So they pinned the whole thing, or they found evidence to link it to this guy named William Dolan. He's a 57-year-old chemist. They believe the sickening smell was due to chloroform that he used to knock people out. And they also believe that he had a score to settle with the Heidelbergs over a land dispute, which was actually documented. He did have a score to settle with them. And also they found locks of hair in his house that belonged to Carol Petey, and the FBI confirmed this. Though, and here's the thing, Dolan denied all of these charges. He did spend 10 years in prison. He was convicted of the attempted murder, but not the haircuts. That was specifically cited. But some believe it was a frame. Some believe this. They believe Dolan did commit the break-in at the Heidelbergs.
Yeah.
But they don't believe he was a Phantom Barber.
So Phantom Barber was like, I'm getting blamed for this guy breaking people's faces. I'm going to put some hair in your house.
Could have been a frame job. Could have been a
reverse
frame job.
frame.
Yeah.
But
they only found hair from one person? Not all of them?
From Carol Petey. That's the only hair they found.
Oh, so that doesn't make sense either.
Well, it does if it's frame up from the Phantom Barber.
Yeah.
If he was
If it's a frame up, yeah.
Carol, I'll
miss you, but I need you
but I need you to frame this guy.
I'll part ways with you.
It's some regular making the murderer stuff, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
But anyway, just that's there is a belief. Here's the other thing. The other reason why they think it was a frame up. Dolan was a known German sympathizer at the time, and this was 42. So this is during the heat of the war. And so because of that, they think they're just nobody cared if Dolan got arrested. They were like, get this guy out of our town. So that is the prevailing belief. Some believe that the Phantom Barber was still out there, somewhere.
Did anyone else lose any hair?
After the last one where R.R. Taylor got her hair cut, never happened again. It was a 2-month spree. And after that, it ended.
Wow.
He came in on the proverbial window he came in literally from. He came out. He left out. He left out.
Nice try.
It's
okay. It's okay.
Put my sunglasses on. Looks like he. I swear to God, if I was as clever as that one guy Muldoon, I think his name is. What's his name? The guy from
CSI Miami or whatever it is.
Yeah, CSI Miami. The guy.
Horatio.
Horatio.
You also have to tilt your head to the side.
What's his last name? He has a really badass last name.
I have
Horatio.
No idea. I just know Horatio.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I always thought it was weird that he's like a redhead, super white guy named Horatio.
Well, you never know.
It's true.
But that's what I got. That's what I happy Halloween, fam. No, actually, I'm not gonna lie. I have another story I'm gonna tell at the end. It is very Halloween related, but this one is. I think this one's kind of more humorous. Just the idea of this guy breaking in and cutting people's hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's creepy too.
Just there's a modern day version of that.
What?
Which is people running around cutting off people's man buns.
Oh shit!
On video.
I think I remember seeing that. Yeah,
that is
or
so
they'll take like an electric razor and they'll just buzz people's heads.
Dude,
did they do that in Jackass?
Probably, I don't know.
I feel like people.
There's just there's
I like the big hand thing though.
There's a group of just douchebags who go around prank. That's not really a prank, man. You're just really ruining somebody's, not even just day, long time. They gotta,
it's physical violation. It's harassment. It's
Yeah.
At least this guy had the respect to do it while they're asleep.
While they're chloroformed. While they're chloroformed. Yeah. But so who is next? Mindy?
I guess I can. After that, I don't even After all that, I'm like, okay, well, I don't have really much of a story because I got sidetracked along the way. Okay. Because I started off with, okay, well, how long has Halloween been around as far as the trick-or-treating and things like that?
I mean, from what I understood, it really blew up in the 50s during the commercialized period of America.
Before that, it was in a couple other places, but it wasn't the same thing. Wasn't it in England or something? It was prayer or something. You go around and you pray for people who died.
But also their version of it kind of is Guy Fawkes Day.
Yeah.
And they still have bonfires and things like that.
I thought Guy Fawkes Day is November, right?
November
5th.
Remember
the 5th of November.
I'm glad I had to I had to say the rhyme.
I heard that also England or like London or like Europe had like All Saints Day. Like that was their thing also, right?
Yeah,
that was because the Christians took over because originally it was like something about trying to get the devils to not come near them, so they dressed up. So the Christians said dress up as angels so that way they can counteract the devil, and they completely changed it into All Saints Days and things like that. And so
super logical.
Yeah, but no candy back then.
Yeah.
No candy, going back. But yeah, I read up in about the 40s, that's when the candy really got big. And going from door to door, and in the 50s is when it became national. And that there are some other countries that actually do it. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. But in the middle of all that, I ended up running across death because I just got stuck on death after that. About all the weird things. Because on one of the pages, it was telling me a couple of stories. I personally did not know how Houdini died. I had no idea how Houdini died.
Yeah, it's like infamous.
Yeah, evidently infamous to everyone but me. And so I had no idea about that one. And so I was reading up about it, and I guess some student of where he was having it, I guess, punched him a couple days before, and being a man, he didn't go to the hospital when he was in pain.
Nice
he had appendicitis. Hey,
There was like, the whole setup of that is basically Harry Houdini had this thing where it was like a trick or something he did where he said he can be punched in the stomach as hard as possible and he won't feel like he can take it. And so this student wanted to punch him in the stomach, and Houdini wasn't properly prepared.
He didn't brace himself.
And he wasn't like mentally and physically prepared. And so when the student punched him, it like did some damage, and then he had appendicitis later. Some people say it was not related to the appendicitis,
to the punch.
But that's how he died. But by the way, actually, another fun fact about Halloween, it's Vanilla Ice's birthday.
Nice.
Vanilla Ice came into this world. He was summoned into this world on Halloween night.
Maybe he's Houdini's spirit. He died on Halloween, and Vanilla Ice was born on Halloween.
And the world goes round.
There's a couple other things I saw. Like, I wish I could remember, though. Like, there's a couple really interesting, like, celebrity-related or famous stuff-related things that are, like, all Halloween. Okay, here's one thing I discovered really quick, by the way, that, like, a quick anecdote. Honestly, it's, like, the weirdest thing I discovered that I think is really funny. There is not a community. It's, like, a series of fan fiction written by all kinds of people. It's all based around the Great Pumpkin from Charlie Brown.
Okay.
You know how it's basically like, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's like the title of that movie. And so they have like variations of it where it's like, it's the Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester from Supernatural, or it's the Great Pumpkin, Itachi Uchida from like Naruto, or it's like they have like but all of
so they just replace the person.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, a lot of them focus on this idea of like the whole repetition of that story is Linus goes to the pumpkin patch to wait for the arrival of the Great Pumpkin who passes out toys to all the good boys and girls in the world, right? That's how Peanuts always did. And the joke was it's basically naive faith. That's like the analogy. Like, he genuinely believes in this thing, but everybody else kind of knows, like, Linus, like, you're confusing it with Santa Claus.
Yeah, right.
There's no such thing as the Great Pumpkin. Actually, there was actually this, I think, a movie or a comic strip where Linus ran for office, and he was going to win, but then he lost because somebody questioned him about his faith in the Great Pumpkin. His religious affiliation made him lose the election.
Nice.
But basically, the way, though, these fan fictions play out, though, is the idea of Linus is in the pumpkin patch, and this person comes to visit Linus and be like, oh, Linus, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm waiting for the Great Pumpkin. And they have like a conversation with Linus about this whole thing. And then the whole skit of that scene is Linus thinks he sees the Great Pumpkin, but it turns out to be, oh, it's Snoopy with a pumpkin on his head, or, oh, it's Lucy playing a joke on him. Every year it's different. He thinks it's one thing, but it's not. So in these fan fiction, same thing. It's like somebody, they got tripped and fell in the pumpkin patch, and then when they got up, he thought it was him. Like, but it's all Sam and these Naruto characters. It's I don't know. It's just a really weird fan fiction. Not weird. It's just really niche.
It's
really
kind of weird.
It's really.
It's a very specific.
It's like,
yeah.
Anyway, go on, Mindy.
No, I'm actually like, that's the movie from the Peanuts Pumpkin Halloween movie, right?
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
I need to see it.
Listen,
now I'm like,
as you can imagine, of a person with my kind of personality and my kind of obsession with pop culture, I grew up watching Peanuts. Like, I'm that guy who's like, every year I'm going to watch some Peanuts. Like, my hero is... Who's my hero from Peanuts?
Who are you asking that to?
I don't know. I mean, I guess...
Child Noosh, where are you?
Child Noosh, who's your favorite Peanuts character? You know what it is? Oh, dude, I know who it is. I know who it is, dude. I've always loved her, Peppermint Patty. And you know why? I have a really specific reason for loving Peppermint Patty, dude. Because she, to me, represents this really liberal Californian, sort of possibly a lesbian, living.
I thought that was like confirmed.
It's kind of, I mean, I don't know, it's very inferred, but she lives in a community that's kind of very conservative. I mean, kind of all the characters are pretty conservative on Peanuts. Very, very faithful, especially Linus. And so and also she goes to a different school, dude. They're all hanging out at this one school, and she's like from this other school. She wears sandals and shorts all the time. Like, I loved her for being Californian. Like, I got that vibe from her, and I loved her for that. Actually, I'm not even joking. The new Peanuts movie that came out, I was watching the trailer for it like a year ago or however many months ago it came out. It's like a 3D movie or whatever. But dude, I remember the thing that I was actually genuinely offended. Like what? Like, and not angry, but just kind of like, what the F? You know, like, what is this? When I saw that they put Peppermint Patty in Charlie Brown's classroom, I was like, no, man, she goes to a different school.
She goes to the hippie school.
Like, what is that? She goes to a hippie school or whatever. Like, she doesn't go to his school.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're going to make her wear closed-toed shoes.
I know, dude. What is that? Nah.
That's horrible for a Southern Californian. Make me wear not my sandals. I mean, granted, I'm not wearing them today, but I have the choice.
You know, for a Southern Californian, I do a lot of not Southern Californian things. I don't go to the beach.
I don't go to
I don't go hiking,
That's a Southern
really.
Californian
That is
native.
it, yeah. I think the whole thing, if you are from Southern California, is that you're like, nah, I could never leave the beaches here, you know?
Yeah.
So when was the last time we went to the beach?
I know.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
I like to know. It's kind of like relatives.
I just
like to know
knowing
it's
there. Yeah.
I like the options. Yeah,
exactly.
I want to know that I can go there. It's privilege. It's California privilege. I know.
I
it's there.
like driving by the beach and be like, hey, ocean.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the smell, the air,
Yeah.
the breeze.
I like the theory.
I don't
want
to be there though.
Yeah.
So
I don't like the sand. I'm probably the only person on the planet that hates sand.
No, I hate sand.
Yeah, I like Pebble Beach.
I guess I go to the pier a lot, though. I mean, I hit up the pier.
Yeah, but that's not because you want to be at the pier. Yeah. That's because you're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I'm just playing Pokemon Go mostly.
So we are killing it on this Halloween episode, talking about the beach and Charlie Brown.
Well, you said that Peanuts was your movie.
Yeah.
So did you go to Hocus Pocus all the time?
Oh, dude! Shout out to Hocus Pocus, Thackeray Binks.
Are you wearing a Hocus Pocus shirt?
I am actually.
Yeah.
Perfect. But yeah, no, I love Winnie and Winnie's outfit. I wish I could have that confidence to be that me.
It is the best Halloween movie I've ever seen. It's my favorite. I love it.
Yeah, I always thought it was just my family. But evidently a lot of people watch it every year.
You should go down to El Capitan Theater and see it when they screen it. Yeah.
They do?
Did that last year. It was a lot of fun.
I still need to do that.
Yeah.
But back to death.
Good transition.
Thanks. I just realized I totally got way off topic with that. But, so one of the things that I ended up running across, besides Harry Houdini, which I had no idea about, was the random deaths that happened about Halloween, which has to do with Halloween, because this one lady this is not like 100 years ago, this is like 2005, a 42-year-old woman was left in public because she had hung herself.
Oh,
do you remember hearing
I heard about that? Yeah.
And she was on a highway. People saw her for
just like,
hours.
Sick Halloween.
Yeah, I thought it was a Halloween
People
costume.
thought it was a Halloween decoration. And then by that was like 7 a.m. and then 11 a.m. they finally were like, oh, no, that's a body. We should probably go get that down. And they went and finally did that. And there's so many things that actually have happened like that. There's quite a few of them, actually.
Apparently, the lesson of this is if you're going to kill someone and like leave their body somewhere, do it on Halloween. It'll give you a couple hours.
I was thinking the opposite of don't die somewhere around Halloween because they think that you're a prop.
Same thing.
I've actually heard also there's a lot of people who try to do like, you know those like people who like scare you, like they're on the ground like a zombie and they pop up and scare you. Mm-hmm. There's people who try to like look like they're hung to scare you, but then they accidentally hang themselves.
Yes.
Like that's actually happened.
Yeah.
Not funny.
That is not funny.
It's fucked up. But it's kind of funny.
But
it's kind of funny. And then it's funny because this article from I think it was history.com that was at, but it says, just say no to fake hangings. Friends don't let friends hang. like totally don't do it because sometimes that happens and people accidentally hang themselves like all the time. It's ridiculous. Like, ugh.
That's like, that's the Halloween version of when people like accidentally set their houses on fire because of their Christmas trees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just oops. I'm dead now. Sorry.
Yeah, and in 2009, evidently a Marina Del Rey man, 75, had shot himself in the head, was on his balcony, slumped over, and people thought he was a decoration too for several days. For 3 days. 3 days.
Wasn't he, like, bleeding and, like, kind of making a mess?
That was a really great special effects music.
No, they thought he was literally
people are like,
decoration.
oh, man, sweet, let me take some pictures of that.
Yeah, the age of selfies.
Yes, 3 days later, the apartment building finally figured out, oh, hey, that's
probably
a real person.
because it started to, like, smell.
Yeah, probably. And it was kind of like, oh, that's gross. And a mailman over in, I believe it was Omaha, or somewhere, maybe it's Delaware. But a mailman had walked by a body because he thought it was a Halloween decoration, and the family was so mad at him that he walked over the body.
Oh, he stepped over them.
I don't know if he directly stepped over them or he walked by it, but the guy, I guess, had passed out or something after a night shift. And so the man was like, oh, Halloween decoration. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even really register that it was a body, and found out later and felt horrible. And the family was so mad at him for walking past. It's like, well, it's around Halloween. Exactly, and he thought it was a decoration. And he even told the guy's wife, I thought it was a decoration. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So what's the...
If you're going to die around Halloween, make sure you don't look like a decoration.
Well,
you can't control that if you're just dying.
Yeah, if you shoot yourself or hang yourself, you can, because both of those were intentional.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing that on purpose, you don't care.
Yeah.
That's
true.
You're trying to make a spectacle anyway.
And if you're doing a Halloween, if you're doing suicide on Halloween, you're doing it for a reason. Specifically. Yeah.
Yep.
But if you're a mailman or what have you, should you check? Hey, is that a real guy?
Yes, I think that now everyone should check after that one, just to make sure they're not a real person. I feel so bad for that mailman, because my dad was a mailman for like 30 years. So, like, I know he probably would have gone, oh, cool, and walked up to it and figured out it's a person. I would hope. But that's just horrible. Could you imagine how bad that guy feels if that guy was alive at the time and then died because he didn't say anything? Like,
I just imagine myself as that mailman and just poking the person's skin and realizing...
You would have been like, oh, that's real lifelike.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. At first I was like, oh, real lifelike. But then I would have really realized, like, oh, my God. This is a human being. And I think you guys have seen the look I make when I'm freaked out. Like, Hannah went, oh! Like, I would have made that face.
Yeah, that would have happened for me, too. That totally would, like, no. Like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
He was passed out, though, right? He wasn't dead yet when he stepped around or over him.
From what I can tell, no. But nothing is specifically saying if he was or wasn't, because I don't think they...
Because I think it wouldn't be as freaky if, like, he wasn't a dead body. It was just like, oh, man... Oh, dude, let me call 911. I think this guy's dying or something,
In the process of.
Yeah, but at the same time, that also makes you feel worse that you didn't say anything because he was alive and maybe you could have saved him.
I'm saying
but
in
his
scenario,
scenario, Like, at least he's hopefully alive and not a dead body. I think I'd still freak out like that, though, even if it wasn't a dead yet. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hard to...
it's hard to make jokes about
finding a dead person.
That's why I can't. Halloween, you know what? As much as I love Halloween specials, I want to do specials. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the whole like. Well, I mean, this is the one I would do an example of because they do it every year. But I guess most shows do this. But like the whole Christmas special every year, Doctor Who does it, Simpsons they do it.
Yeah.
Simpsons is a Halloween special every year. Like I wanted us to have that like Halloween special.
Shows do.
Yeah. But it's hard. It's hard to be funny about Halloween when our topics are always real life based stuff.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's like that's horrible. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, for the candy and everything, like even some of those stories of how the Halloween even started and just they started giving treats out because they were having so many mischief. Instead of they're doing the tricks instead of the treats.
I mean, trick or treat was originally a threat. It was like you'd walk up to someone's house and be like, give me something nice or I'm going to like fuck with your house. Or...
Yeah, it's like, that's not even cute and cuddly.
Did you guys actually hear that? I think I might have mentioned it to you, maybe. I don't know. But that the most, like the act that causes the most deaths on Halloween is egging. Egging people.
Really?
Yeah, because they say that psychologically egging actually is very humiliating for the person who gets egged. Like just it's not just somebody's vandalizing your property or you physically vandalizing
it's personal.
It's the splatter of like stuff on you. Like it is so humiliating to have shit just splattered all over you. But here's the thing: the death actually goes two ways. There are times where the person gets egged and that person confronts the egger and there's a story about a guy who was sitting in his car. He was sitting in his car. They egg his car while he's in it. He gets out and he's like, "Hey guys, like what the F? Like what's your problem? Blah blah blah."
Them feels.
Then he goes back to his car and sits down. And then one kid, like they're like teenagers, walk up and shot him in the head.
What?
Just straight up, just walk up and shot him in the head. But there are other stories where somebody eggs somebody, and the person who got egged chases the other person down and beats them to death. Like egging is
justice.
The police
People are completely missing the point of trick and treat. Jeez.
I will say this.
There should be no tricks.
I agree with you that egging feels way worse than something else. Like when there was one time when I was driving home from, what was I, like my cousin's house or something? I don't know. It doesn't matter where I was, but I was driving home in Zoidberg, my first car.
The old car, Acura,
and my brother was in the car also.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's just there's this like loud crack noise on the windshield, splatter everywhere. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And I stop and I realize it was eggs. And there's like some kids on like a wall, not an overpass, but like on the side of the house, like their house. They had like a wall facing the street. I could have killed those kids. I think it was in me to do it, but they were far away, and I just yelled some stuff at them, and I didn't have anything to throw, but I would have.
One time, I was driving, in my old apartment complex, I was driving down, like, the lane or whatever to go park, and I saw these two kids. Like, I swear to God, one of them was, like, the fattest 6-year-old I've ever seen, and then his, like, little brother was there, and the little brother was, like, seemed like a nice kid, just playing in, like, the dirt. The other kid was also kind of, like, looking at the dirt, kind of, like, whatever. Like, he was kind of, like, watching his little brother or something. Anyway, I was just driving by. And I just saw them. I just kind of kept driving. And then I hear a crack against my car. And I stop. And I look. And the kid's looking at me, the fat kid. And I just looked at him like, I swear to God, this little shit threw a rock at me. Like, I was about ready to get out. But then I realized, like, he's just a 6-year-old kid. Yeah. But here's the thing. The only reason... Here's my thought process. Is I should get out and say something. But I was like, nah, he's 6-years-old. But then I thought to myself, I should get out and say something. Because the look on his face was the smuggest, douchiest 6-year-old I've ever seen.
Just say, come at me, bro.
He looked like he wanted me to come at him. And I want to come at him. But I decided I reminded myself that I am at the time, a 22-year-old adult.
Yeah,
and I had no place.
You cannot beat him up.
It's hard. It's hard to do much of anything when you're an adult to a kid that's not your kid.
Yeah.
Because if it's your kid, you could be like, "Fuck you! You stop!" Whatever. I mean, don't say that, but you can discipline them. If you're an adult, someone's gonna walk out and be like, "What are you doing to my kid, man? Like, why are you?"
Yeah. Automatically defensive,
it would have
no matter what
me
they
to
did.
a situation where I didn't want to go. I would have been a brown guy named Anushka grabbing some other guy's kid. I don't want to be that guy.
That sounds like it might have a bad ending.
Yeah. So, moral of the story, kids: don't egg people.
Don't end up dead on Halloween.
Don't end up dead. Don't egg people because you might end up dead. Don't be egged. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And if you do get egged, don't get out and yell.
Yeah,
you might end up dead.
Just let it go. Just wash your car. Or wash yourself.
Sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to let it go. I'm going to find that kid.
Yeah.
After the show,
he's probably
like 18
He's like 18 now. You can
he was like 18 then. He was like some shitty little fucking 16-year-old.
We're going to find you.
Yeah. He's probably like, some kid like just graduated high school, working at Walmart or some crap.
Dude, what if he's our number one fan on the show?
Fuck you. Stop listening to my show. I don't care.
Wow.
Egging is really personal, man. It sucks.
It is.
I could only imagine. Luckily, I don't have experience with that.
It's very undignified.
Yeah.
I've always believed this. Human beings are meant to stand on 2 feet, not be laying on the ground, falling over.
And dry.
And dry.
Yeah.
And
I don't want
when you're not dry and we are not on 2 feet as a human, it's very undignified. It's not right. You shouldn't force somebody.
It reduces
into those positions.
you to, you know.
Unless you choose to be in those positions, wet and on your back, wet and not on your feet.
Sex jokes.
Ryan, God, you gotta. I think they got it. I think they got that.
I hope so. I just wanted to make sure.
For the kid, for the 18-year-old kid who might not get that.
Yeah.
Listening.
There you go.
All right, so. Is that?
I have more about death, but I really don't want to do any more about death. I'd really like to move on to hopefully a better subject because unfortunately that's all I could find besides.
Well, I know I totally
things.
get you. I mean, like I struggled, and that's all I found also.
And I'm like, I don't want to talk anymore about death. Courtney, do you have anything?
What do you got, Courtney?
Not death?
Well, I had two things I'm going to talk about. One kind of has to do with death, but in a weird way. But I'll get to that. I was going to first start off with where jack-o'-lanterns came from.
Cool.
Any guesses? Nice.
I've heard it. Well, here's the thing. By the way, a lot of us that keep asking questions like, "Oh, do you know where this came from?"
Yeah.
I think we all have the same research.
Probably, yeah. But I try to keep it light.
I've never heard of this.
So.
Yeah.
Well, when I was reading it, I'd never heard of it.
But for the audience, tell us about it.
So it actually comes from Ireland. Mm-hmm. So it comes from a legend that they had, the legend of Stingy Jack.
Did not hear about this. I'm looking forward to it.
This is not the part I read either, so you read the same.
Yeah, so it's an Irish myth.
Yeah.
So according to it, Stingy Jack invited the devil for a drink. And true to his name, he's stingy. He doesn't want to pay. He asked the devil, hey, turn yourself into a coin so I can pay for the drinks. And so the devil's like, okay, I'll do it. So he turns himself into a drink. Now, instead of paying for the drinks, what he does is he takes the devil as a coin, puts it in his pocket, and in his pocket also is a silver cross, which means that the devil can't turn himself back into the devil. So he's just stuck as a coin. Huh. And so he kept him in his pocket.
A national hero.
I love these old-timey, Devil and Daniel Webster type stories.
Yeah.
Because they're so clever with their supernatural. Yeah.
So eventually he does free the devil, but he says only under one condition, that you don't bother me for a year, and that if I were to die, you don't claim my soul. So the devil's like, all right, fine, just get me out of this. So
short-term
he
thinking,
takes him out of it.
I like also that he's just like, listen, just leave me alone for a year.
Yeah.
By the way, though, remember this. This is like in the olden days when people lived to be 34. He's probably like 33, and he's like, I got probably a year left to go anyway.
Yeah. This is a while ago. Yeah. So he did that, and then so he doesn't bother him for a year, and the next year he tricks the devil again. This time, getting him to climb into up a tree to get a piece of fruit.
The devil is really gullible.
Yeah. So while he's up in the tree, Jack carved a sign of the cross into the tree's bark so he can't come down. He finally says, like, all right, I'll let you down as long as you promise not to bother me for 10 more years. And I was like, fine, I want to get down from here.
That's
better.
He's an entrepreneur.
He's learning.
This guy's an entrepreneur, Stingy Jack.
So, about probably 10 years or whatever, but soon Jack does die. So he does the devil promise he wouldn't take his soul. He goes up to heaven, but God doesn't want to let him into heaven because he's,
because he's a dick.
Unsavory. He's a jerk, So then he's like, all right, fine, I'll go down to hell. But the devil's like, no, I promised you I'm not going to take your soul. So no. So he just gives him a small coal carved out of a turnip. And so then Jack has been wandering around the earth ever since. So originally, though, jack-o'-lanterns weren't in pumpkins. They were in turnips, potatoes, or beets. Yeah. And it wasn't until Irish immigrants came to the U.S. and they saw pumpkins that was much cheaper that they then started doing it out of pumpkins, and there's jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah. Could you imagine trying to carve a potato?
Yeah. Or a turnip.
Actually,
I saw a really creepy picture of a turnip lantern. It was like...
I heard they were called, what I read about was turnip ghosts.
Yeah. That's what I heard about. It was just, So that's where jack-o'-lanterns come from, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, I wouldn't have connected jack-o'-lanterns with the Irish, but there you go.
Yeah, considering pumpkins don't grow there.
But it makes sense with potatoes.
It does.
Everything about Ireland makes sense with potatoes.
Yes.
I love potatoes.
It's an import, too. I mean, it didn't naturally grow in Ireland.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I forgot about that.
It was brought over by the English or the Americans? I don't know.
Probably the English, man. Yeah. They did all that stuff.
Yeah.
They did everything.
But,
ecosystems ruined.
Yeah.
Etc.
Okay, so the other topic I was going to talk about. So when I was looking up this stuff, and I came across this one article where they were talking about the 5 creepiest things on Halloween or something like that. But one really caught my eye and it made me laugh too. So here's the title of I forget what number it was, but here's the title of it. Your authentic ghost costume isn't authentic unless there's poop in it.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what, Courtney? You are a treasure. On this show, because it always comes down to poop in some form or another.
6 degrees of poop.
I mean, it's really like 1 degree.
And for us, it's less than 6. Yeah, that's true.
I don't. I mean, it's a natural human thing. It's what makes us. I don't know, but yeah, it all comes down to poop. So what this guy was saying was that if you think about it, especially when you see it in the movies too, when anyone dies and they come back as a ghost, they're still in the same state of how they died. So if they drowned and they're coming back, they're with like, they're wet and their clothes are all tattered or they're burned or whatever it is, they come back at the same.
I feel like I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Well, what he was saying is that usually if people die, especially in a violent way or whatever, but the body will you can't control some functions. And so a natural part of death, especially if it's violent, is that your bowels just may release. Mm-hmm. So, and that's part of the autonomic nervous system.
Also, apparently, you can get boners. Like
really?
Yeah.
Dead man boners.
Really?
So, yeah, I mean, if you're
I
a
really
ghost...
shouldn't have said really with so much interest.
Yeah, you were like, tell me more.
I was just curious, but it sounded like, I'm like, how can I get me one of these boners?
Well, it can also happen after you've been dead for a little bit because
Oh.
your body is stiffening, but
Yeah.
I mean it's going through the decomposition, so you go through all these stages.
I just realized that was a joke from Clerks. Remember that? You guys remember Clerks, right?
Yeah.
She screwed a dead guy in the bathroom. That was,
dude. Yeah,
that was
now
a joke.
you know how.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I mean your body is still, even though you're dead, it's still, you can think of the body as still being kind of alive because it's still going through all the processes of going through decomposition.
Yeah.
That's really just, he just goes into it, and I did a little bit more research on the ANS system. There's the parasympathetic and the sympathetic part of it. And it's the sympathetic part of the system that controls our heartbeat and our blood vessels, but then also it has, hold on, let me find where it is. It's all the things that, no wait, sorry, I'm mixing it up. This is why I probably should do an outline like you do instead of just like copying and pasting.
It's okay. I ended up with the same problem today.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Halloween.
I mean, we don't have to get into the full science of it, but I mean, I just thought that was really funny. It's like, so you're not really a ghost unless if you're going to be true to it.
Yeah.
You gotta
crap your pants first.
Crap your pants. Scared shitless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
And that you don't have to worry about anybody doing anything to you because they will not be anywhere near you.
Exactly.
You might get egged, though.
You might
'cause
get
you're gonna
egged.
Maybe,
smell
yeah.
like-
Because they'll be from afar, so just toss them at
Although,
you.
really, all you have to do if you get egged is just do the monkey thing,
What
you
the-
got
throw
you
it
got
at
shit in your
people?
pants, so you
Oh,
can
yeah.
just
Oh,
fire
I
back.
like that.
that would be really gross though if you were to use actual poop. I mean, if it's just a costume, would you really? I don't know.
Well,
I
If
don't
already
you
had
want,
the
did
poop
you not
handy.
read the
Listen.
article you brought today? If you want to be an authentic ghost,
But it's still a costume. I
Listen,
mean, you're not going
the
to use your
person-
actual.
Why not?
the person doesn't need to know.
The person who decides, you know what, I'm going
That
to take
might
my
get you
ghost
killed.
costume to the next level and shit myself, they're not going to mind taking that extra step of throwing shit at people.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is a very...
You've already crossed
Yeah.
a couple lines to get to. I'm going to shit my pants for
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Actually, let me ask you this. What is your guys' favorite Halloween special or Halloween episode, movie? Well, you already said...
Mine's definitely Hocus Pocus.
Well, let me take Hocus Pocus off the equation. Episode of like a show or something.
I love Simpsons Halloween episodes.
Okay.
I
Those
love
are
them.
good.
I can't pinpoint one of them, but I definitely prefer The Simpsons over other ones.
I don't know if it was a Halloween one. No, I don't think that was a Halloween. Never mind. I don't think I really have a favorite one because I'm not so into Halloween. Like I go to like those scary mazes and stuff like that. Like last week I went to the haunted hayride.
How was
I
that?
like that stuff. It was fun.
Have you been to it before?
Yeah.
Was it? I went a couple years ago. It was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
this was our third year going. I went with my sister and my niece and everything. So, I mean, it was good. But for me, the best one that I've ever been to is when I was living in New York. And my sister and I went to this maze thing, and it was based off of, I think it was like the top 7 fears of New Yorkers. And so each room that you go into is based off of that. So when you first go
An entire
in,
street where no cab stops for you. Oh no.
This is so frustrating.
An apartment that's not rent controlled. Oh no.
that is pretty scary, I'll tell you.
I was thinking more like 100 people in one room.
Yeah. Well, no, they'll put you in groups, and so that what they did is that the first room you go in, you're just kind of standing there, and they shut the door, and you're just like, okay, what now? And then all of a sudden, this bookshelf came straight at us, so then we were pushed up against the wall, and we're just like,
Some
so that was
intense stuff.
that was the scare of small spaces. And then like a door slid open, you go into the next room. I don't remember all of them, but I do remember at one point they were walking through and they opened this door and you can see that you're going to have to crawl and they're just like, get in. And we're like, what? So like we crawl through and then eventually we can stand up. It was pitch black and we're walking in a line. I think it was my sister. She reached out to go touch somebody. You just hear, and she's like, no, it's just me. And then finally we get down and then we look up and there's a plexiglass above us and somebody just starts throwing dirt on top. So it's being buried alive was the next one.
Wow.
And then I think there was like a fear of clowns. I don't remember all of them, but that one was still the best one that I've been to.
You know that I was not afraid of clowns until we went to the Queen Mary.
Oh, yeah.
And I became afraid of clowns after that.
Queen Mary's a really good.
That one's good.
I was down. It was like this hallway with the white and black stripes and the clown and the strobe light and just that was it. I have not liked clowns ever since. Like that did me in.
I don't know how long ago. Maybe it was like a year or two ago. But JB took me to this haunted mansion attraction. It was almost like a theater piece, but it was like a haunted mansion horror theater piece, interactive
I remember
theater.
You guys
it's called
about
Delusion.
That, yeah.
It's called Delusion, and it was like a haunted mansion kind of thing. The whole premise was that this author who had nobody's seen in like 20 years, like his house might be haunted by his creations, blah blah. So the cool thing about it is you go in with a group, like 10 people, but you start to get split up. Like eventually you start getting split up really, really intricately, where it's like 2 people might be by themselves and stuff like that. And they have like crazy stuff where like, you know. Listen, I'll tell you this. There's normal stuff as like freaky ghosts and monsters, but the moment where I was like, dude, where am I? Is this because the whole thing is we're looking for keys to open doors to get out, and when we get split up, me and this one other person wound up in a place where we walked into this room where it was the only place to go, and we're in this like bedroom of this like sultry dominatrix, sexy young woman, right? And she's like. And so she looks at us, she's like, which one will I pick, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm going to pick you. And she picks me. And I'm just like, okay, like, sure.
She's like,
I like where this is going, maybe. And so she takes me into another room. And the other person, there's like a window that shows the other room she's taking me into.
They got to watch.
They get to watch. So she takes me into this other room. But when she lets me into the other room, and the switch happened so fast, I was with her and I didn't even see it happen. But when the door closed and I saw her again, she was an old woman. Like, it was a totally different actress. It was not the same woman at all. It was a legit different woman, like an older woman in the same clothing. And then she climbs into this bathtub and she asks me to brush her back with this brush. And so I'm like, okay. And so I'm brushing her back. And then she does this. She reaches down with 2 fingers, and then she starts doing that to herself, like masturbating, basically. And she's making these moaning sounds in this tub while I'm brushing. You have to imagine this whole time I'm just brushing her back. She's masturbating and moaning, and the person in the window is looking at me. I'm looking at them, and our faces are like. Like, I swear my eyes are so wide, my mouth is so wide open, and I was just kept on brushing, and she's like a little lower, and it's like, oh yeah.
I just like how complacent you were, like you just followed direct, like you just did it.
You know,
it was the moment in that thing where I felt like, oh my god, this is happening, and then this is what happens next. Finally, she hands me something. And she places a key in my hand that is wet and drippy, and I take it, and I swear my eyes were just like I was speechless, and then I walked out. My hand was just held in a fist like this the whole time. I walked out with the other person. We made no speech to each other. We just made eye contact, and then we moved on to find the others if we can.
And we will never speak of this.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know what this is, but it sounds crazy enough. I want to go.
I was thinking the same thing too. I want to try that.
It's called Delusion.
Delusion?
They come to LA every year. So.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Looked it up on the
It's kind
car
of
ride
like
home.
it's like a Clue type thing, right?
It's a Clue type.
What are the?
When
we went
it was
to
like
another one
in the rooms where you're like trying to get
escape
the puzzle.
room.
Yeah, escape room.
It's kind of like an escape room,
Similar
but
to
it's
I've never done that.
less puzzle solving because you're more like
more narrative.
Yeah, I mean, like at one point, I remember like one of the freaking things I remember is they needed somebody to traverse this really, really tight space in the basement with like a pulley rope system to get
so
another
it's more
key.
interactive.
Yeah, and I was freaked out because I was like, here's wall and like ceiling.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah, I feel like Noosh, whenever you go to stuff like that, you're always the one who has to end up doing the shitty stuff.
because nobody else wants to, and I'm like, all right.
That, and also I think you get picked on. Like, I'm gonna pick you. You look like the guy who they're going. I want this guy to wash my back while I masturbate.
Wait, I have a question. Do I look like the person? Because here's the thing. You know me personally that I'm a very interactive person. I'll do whatever. I'm always very engaging and stuff like that. But do I look very innocuous? Like, do I look like somebody who does not want to, and they pick on me because they're like, let's get this guy.
I don't think it's so much that you look like you're not down to do it. I think it's that you just look very unassuming and like you're chancy. You just look very like
chancy.
No, what's going on here? I'm so like innocent and just like.
I'm a really awkward clefable. I got my eyes all
clefable.
Yeah. What's a more relevant reference to somebody who's really awkward? Like the most awkward looking pop culture person we can think of.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them too.
Yeah, whatever. I look very unassuming. Okay,
you look very.
I'll take that.
Innocent,
you know what?
awkward.
You know. By the way, I was about to say something right now, and I realized we've never done this before. I was about to say, okay, hey, Dead Nation.
Oh my God!
What's the name of our fans? Are they called?
We need a name for the fans.
Dead Nations. Are they the?
I don't know. Are they dead?
Are they deadheads?
Because we're dead.
We're dead.
That doesn't mean they're dead.
Yeah. Are they
the mourners?
The mourners. You know why I don't like Deadhead? Deadhead's Grateful Dead.
Yeah, we can't use
Dead
that.
Nation, it's okay.
I feel like that's a fan club for the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, I mean, the mourners. Dude, Ryan, Noosh are dead. Or maybe they're called the Young Harambe's.
Noosh.
I'm just saying, that could be.
One day you'll let it go.
One day I'll make it real.
But today is not that day.
All right, Ryan, what do you got?
So let's move on.
Yeah.
This is not Halloween related, but it is a.
Was anything Halloween related in this?
We talked about jack-o'-lanterns.
Died on Halloween.
Okay. Yeah.
And jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay.
And jack-o'-lanterns. Yeah.
You guys single-handedly saved this show from being not relevant to our own topic.
Yeah. I mean, it's
High five.
it's a creepy mystery kind of thing, I guess.
Let's do it.
All right. So 1976, the citizens of the world's most boring sounding town on Earth, Circleville, Ohio. Okay.
Yep. Sounds like
Does it say Topanga? No.
So they, no, I mean, I'm not saying it's a boring place. Probably is, but just the name Circleville.
If you're telling a story about it, I hope
Ohio.
It's not a boring place.
Yeah.
For the sake of this show.
The citizens of Circleville, Ohio, live perfectly normal, boring lives.
Okay.
The end. No. Okay. So, starting in 1976, a bunch of people in this town started getting these weird, creepy handwritten letters. Have you guys heard of this story at all? No. Anyone? Okay.
Keep going. I don't know if I have or not.
So they all started getting these weird, creepy handwritten letters with really detailed, specific personal information about them. And saying, like, I'm watching you, blah, blah, blah. Huh. I know you're doing this thing. I know you get home at this time, whatever. Just, like, weird, creepy, personal stuff.
That's creepy.
And they were all signed the Circleville Writer.
So,
Writer, as in, like, I write things. Yeah, so the Circleville Writer... Self-named.
That is the least scary.
It is. It is.
The Phantom Ghost, Spring Heel Jack, the Circleville Writer.
and you know what's funny about that too is he or she named themselves.
Yeah.
You know, this wasn't like some
the media.
The media didn't. The Circleville Writer. It was he signed them that way. So everyone's getting these letters. They're like, "What the hell is this? Like, this is weird." The worst of the letters were directed at a Mary. I feel like I'm going to say her name wrong. Gillespie?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, so she, and here's the thing. She's not some mayor. She's not some official. She's a school bus driver. And she's getting, like, the worst, most, like, threatening letters. Basically accusing her of having an affair with the school superintendent. And telling her that she needs to come clean to the school board. And here's a quote from one of the letters. And this isn't the first letter she got. This is like somewhere down the line. But the quote is, Gillespie, you've had 2 weeks and done nothing. Admit the truth and inform the school board. If not, I will broadcast it on CBS, posters, signs, and billboards until the truth comes out. So this guy's like really like, you need to tell everyone about your affair. She ignores this. And this is, I want to say maybe a couple weeks after that letter. Her husband gets a phone call from an anonymous person, and he never says what was told to him or what he actually heard on the phone or whatever, but he grabs a gun. He tells his kids, I'm going to go confront this guy, the Circleville Writer.
Yeah.
And he leaves. Then a few hours later, he's found dead in his car, crashed into a tree.
Husband?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The car is crashed into a tree. So it looks like, he crashed. But his gun had been fired also. So either he shot at someone or somebody shot the gun somehow, and he crashed. He was dead. So a little while after this, Mary and the superintendent finally admit that they've been having an affair, hoping that this is going to end the harassment, I guess.
Husband, and he's out of the way.
And now that he's not here to be worried about it, I guess. Yeah. And you would think, okay, fine. He got what he wanted. No. The letters continued for 6 fucking years.
Wow. Someone was dedicated.
Yeah,
Seriously.
So not only were there just letters, but there were signs posted up on her bus route all the time.
Wow.
And so she finally got fed up one day, and she pulls over her bus full of kids, gets out, tries to take down one of the signs, and finds that the letter or the poster is booby trapped with a box behind it and a string with a gun.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
It doesn't get a saw.
Yeah, it doesn't she doesn't set it off,
How
but
do
she
you even
notices
know that she's gonna pull that one? Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
and what if someone else was trying to be nice and took it down?
Right. And here's the other thing too, and it's not because there's more than one sign, right? And it's when I tell you about the gun, you're gonna be like, what the heck? Because I was like, wow, he spent a lot of money and time to put guns in all these. Because how do you know it's gonna be that one? But he must have, because the gun had a scratched off serial number, but partial still there. The police were able to track it.
The husband's gun.
No, her fucking ex-brother-in-law, though. So, related still to... And they were like, oh, he's the guy. It was him. It must have been him. He found out about the affair. He got upset.
Right.
What have you.
His brother's dead now.
But why would he harass the rest of the place?
Wait, why was he harassing the rest of the town?
Exactly.
Right.
Oh.
So,
setting up an MO to then do that.
So everyone was like, case closed. Had to be him.
Yeah.
Whatever. They didn't really know what the motive was for the letters, and he wasn't ever accused of that, but he was accused and sentenced for attempted murder for the booby trap gun.
Not the haircuts, though.
Not the haircuts, though. So he was sentenced to 7 to 25 years for attempted murder. And so everyone was like, but he was obviously the letter guy. I mean, the prosecution didn't accuse him and actually try him for writing the letters to the town, but they heavily inferred they had him do writing samples and whatever, and they were like, oh, it was him, he's the guy the whole time. And so everyone in the town believed that's who he was. The jury found him guilty, what have you. But while he's in prison, in solitary confinement, letters keep coming out, and he's getting letters now in prison. And one of the letters that he got sent, I have a quote from that letter. He says, now when are you going to believe that you aren't getting out of there? And actually, I should set this up. He tried to do an appeal, and it failed. Then he got this letter. So, now when are you going to believe that you aren't going to get out of there? I told you 2 years ago. When we set them up, they stay set up. Don't you listen at all? So, he served a full 10 years, but he maintained his innocence until he died in 2012 of natural causes.
Right.
So
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Gotta throw that in there, always.
So all in all, the Circleville writer sent thousands of letters to this town, this random small Ohio town. And this started in 1976, like I said in the beginning. People were claiming to get letters until 2001. That's when they finally said they stopped officially, I guess. So 25 years?
Yeah, around 25, 26, yeah.
Yeah, 25 years of this guy just... Yeah. Or girl, or thing, whatever.
That's dedication.
Yep.
Well, he's a passionate writer.
That is next level trolling.
That's his canvas.
Yeah. Yes. And they got easier over time with the internet.
Troll.
Think about this. His entire life would have been different if he was born in the age of the internet. Because then he could vent his frustration so easily on thousands of anonymous people, and he wouldn't have to harass one town over a 25-year period.
Then it wouldn't make it as creepy.
Yeah.
Maybe, I like to think it was more about getting that frustration, getting that out, than just harassing the town, because the other people seemed kind of random. It didn't seem he had any animosity towards them.
Mostly, for most everyone except for Mary, the letters were pretty, they were scary and creepy. The police would have to come and talk to these people and say, oh, well, all he's saying is, I know where you live, and I know you have this many kids, and I know that you do this thing and this thing. But he didn't ever, do anything or threaten anyone. He just sent them creepy letters. Except for her.
Sounds like someone with a god complex.
Yeah, maybe.
I do. Yeah, it does sound like he was more trolly than anything else. But it's too bad he didn't. He wasn't here for AOL. That could have saved a lot of people a lot of trouble.
Also saved on postage.
You know what? And all the letters came from Columbus with no return address. So they were like another town over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Which is, well, I don't know. Unless he like drove. I'm trying to think of the logistics of this. If he lived in Columbus, that means he spent a lot of time in Circleville just monitoring people and watching them so he can like write these letters. Or he lived in Circleville, and he would go all the way over to Columbus to mail. Yeah.
I think they lived in Circleville and then...
Yeah, they had to, because then they had to also post up those images and those posters or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. But also, how come no one in Columbus was like, why are you sending thousands of letters? Like,
maybe he hopped around a different mail.
Probably just different mailboxes. They probably didn't do it all at the same time.
He was really dedicated
to
his craft.
Dedication.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, as when I was working in businesses and stuff, I would sometimes mail 30, 40 letters at a time.
I guess. You know what? I don't think anyone really pays attention to the
No.
mail, really.
Not really. No. And particularly if you work for the post office, you don't. Yeah. Not one of the best places to work, but that's okay.
Well, interesting, man. We kind of had similar themes in our stories in the sense of, like,
you and me?
Mysterious.
Of course we did.
Yeah.
Because we're best friends, guys.
I don't think we have that here with...
We should get your best friend shirts.
No, I know.
We do actually have best friend shirts.
Or that broken heart that each person gets that says best friends.
Brian's actually wearing the same shirt I also bought.
No, hold on. I don't want people to think that this was a mutual thing, okay? I bought this shirt because I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, that is an awesome shirt. Where do I go to get that shirt?
Yeah.
So I sent him a link, and then he's like, what color did you get? Oh, I got navy. I'm going to get navy, too.
Whoa, listen.
All right,
in my defense, though, I did ask him what color, only to get a different one. I wanted to get green or like a red color, but I looked at it, and honestly, the green and the red just didn't look as good as the navy. Like, the navy looked so good.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to get this. Now, listen.
Whatever you
just
have to tell
you
yourself.
want to match.
I will totally admit, okay, I will say this. That shirt has nothing to do with the thing where I'm always trying to buy Ryan's clothes.
He is always trying to buy my clothes.
Like years ago.
Also.
Okay, listen, years ago when we worked together like side by side.
Kind of.
I mean, no, still pretty openly. When we used to work together, we sat right next to each other. I remember at one point, I was like always impressed by how good his pants looked. I'm like, Ryan, like, where'd you get those pants?
You offered to buy.
I offered to buy his pants off him. They look so good.
Like single white female here. You're gonna just like show up. You'll have his glasses. You have his haircut.
Dude, you know what? You are, and I don't know if my brother's ever going to listen to this, but you are kind of like my brother, only he does it really innocently. Like, when I went to go see him in Utah, he had the same glasses almost, same haircut almost, and I was like, what the fuck?
He does kind of look like you now. He does
and
look a lot like you,
yeah. Man, what are you doing? But the thing is, he's in a different state, so he can't even, like, it's just
It's
weird.
like you guys wearing it on different days, different states. You're not going to run into each other. You don't have change, he doesn't have change.
But you are purposefully trying to get
I did
my
offer
pants.
to buy his pants off of him. I remember I started buying, I think, Rescue, specifically because you buy Rescue pants. Right?
I told you the brand of pants that I was buying at the time, and you were like, I'm going to go buy those right now.
Yeah.
And you still managed to fuck it up, kind of.
Dude, I actually was like really upset today because here's the thing. I actually bought Ryan has burgundy Rescue pants. I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy some burgundies. I like it. I like the color. It looks cool. So
you're
if it's
really
modeled on
not
him,
helping
it's cool.
yourself.
It's good.
I'm not even trying to help myself. I openly admit, like, there's skill sets I have. I'm good at certain things, but I am really not functional when it comes to like fashion or like look at this. I know that my size is 30-32, 30 waist, 32 length.
You
No.
actually just said that
I just said it backwards.
yourself.
I'm
How
30.
do I know your size and you don't?
Dude, that's what I mean. I'm not. Okay, I'm 32 waist, 30 in length,
God.
but somehow I bought new pants over the weekend, including the burgundy ones he's had for years, that same style. And I bought 32. And I don't know why I bought.
And it's funny because then he's like, oh man, do these pants look good? And I'm like, nah, I don't know. They look weird. Like
a size,
the bottom's too weird. And he was like, oh, I just realized I bought the wrong size.
I just do that. I just somehow, like, my
It's
shoes.
also funny because you try them on.
I do, and I try so hard, and I have a pair of pants on that fits me that I can look at, and I did look at it. I actually looked at the pants, which were rescue type pants, and it said 30-32, and
Which
I somehow
is still
bought.
wrong.
No, wait. Yeah. It's because I'm saying it wrong. I'm actually, dude.
You're making this worse for yourself too, because now you're gonna start buying 3032, and they're not gonna fit this.
Guys, okay. I think now you guys and the audience at home knows there's some kind of weird cognitive block in my head that is basically saying you're gonna fuck up every time you buy clothes. Dude, the shoes. I bought new shoes like last week, and I bought a size like half a size, like a size too big to wear every time I'm walking. It's like cutting into my tendon. Like, it's
what?
Yeah, man. Like, it just fits weird. I found a way to make it work though, so I'm good.
Did you have to like put tape or
no,
an extra sock? Or
I
something?
just really tighten it hard on the lace to the point where my feet don't move inside. So I'm good. But dude, I don't know why. There's like a cognitive block that basically says, you're not going to ever buy clothes that make you look nice, Noosh. You're going to look like shit every time. Like, you're going to look like a poor man's Ryan every time.
But the thing is, you don't even have the excuse of girls. Like, if there's a size 14 and then another size 14, they aren't the same.
No, yeah, they're different.
Guys are actually... No.
What's the difference?
And, like...
It depends on the maker.
It depends on the maker.
Every person is
And
different.
particularly for, like, even, like, Old Navy, it depends on what country it's made in. Mm. And it'll all be size 14, but they all fit differently, and they're all the same style.
Yeah.
And so, but girls are always like that. Always. It's not even like, okay, well, usually I wear this.
Yeah.
I can wear anything from a size 12 to a 16. It just depends. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what girls do to solve that problem?
What?
Try on the whole store.
They try on the clothes, and then they really look, and they realize, oh, this isn't going to work. Which... You also do, but for some reason you still get the wrong...
You know what I should start doing? I should start wearing my shoes when I try on my clothes, because maybe that would have made me realize, oh, the pants are too long.
You don't put your shoes on with your
I took my shoes off.
Man,
listen, right there is the problem.
Yeah.
Let me give you
put them back on.
some advice.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I don't care what you're buying for yourself, clothes-wise, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever natural element you're going to be wearing that thing in, that's what you should be trying it on with, because that's what you're going to be wearing it in. So if you're going to wear shoes
and then also
with
give
pants,
Ryan a call and say, hey, this is what I'm buying.
He jokingly sent me a message saying, like, hey, can I send you some, like, some dressing room pictures?
Can you tell?
I Skype you right now.
He didn't, to clarify, because I laughed at him.
But. I specifically, he laughed at me in a way where he's like he didn't want to tell me, Noosh, this is weird, don't do that. He was being polite about it, but I got that vibe, and I was like, okay,
nah, man, listen, if you really need to send me dressing room pictures, that's fine, as long as they're, like, not
I did that
weird.
once. I FaceTimed my mom, and I was in the dress. I'm like, Mom, does this work? And she was helping me out. It was for my graduation dress.
Yeah.
That's a special occasion. I don't think this sounds like a special occasion.
It's fine, man. Every time you buy clothes, I guess, you just got to send me some pictures. Or
yeah, man, I need some help. Because, you know, the thing is, I mean, like, I'm a student right now. I don't have the money to be buying new pants all the time. Pants get expensive on a student budget.
And you fucked it up, man.
Yeah, dude. Actually, I'm going to go to a tailor. Hopefully it's not too expensive for them to shorten the length of these pants.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Tailor's not really that expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I try to get my pants hemmed because I'm short and pants are always long. So either just walk on them until they get ripped or just
# Noosh problems.
Yep.
Dude, Noosh problems are so much more pathetic than Ryan problems. Like, Ryan problems are like that was trending on Tumblr for a little while, Ryan problems. But Noosh problems is just... I can't buy the right clothes. My shoes don't fit. You know? It's like an old man's problems in some ways. Like,
you know what you could do to fix the bottom of your pants? Just wear them really.
Oh God, that's how it begins. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was actually like, you were telling me, like, the annoying things that we complain about. God, these people who do these annoying things. That's how it begins on the process to become an old man.
Oh yeah, we were talking about how we generally just hate people a lot more than we used to.
Yeah. Whatever. Look, I actually have another Halloween story I'm going to share briefly.
Is it actually Halloween?
It is actually Halloween. Awesome. Actually, the title of there's a term for this, which it's not exactly an appropriate term, but this is the term the internet uses. You know, this is not a Noosh original by any stretch.
A Nooshism. This
is not a Nooshism. This is what the internet terms as. There is a subreddit for this, so it's out there. It's called Slutoween. That's the term that's used to describe this sexification of commercial female costumes. Here's a quote that I saw a couple articles cite that I thought was really relevant. And this is really surprising, by the way, because there's a lot of classic movies out there, like John Hughes films, which you need to watch, Mindy.
I know. I need to watch Pretty in Pink, evidently.
But, you know, there's a lot of classic films. But when you experience a classic film, like when you're alive and an adult or whatever, you don't really realize, like, oh, that's a classic. Mean Girls is considered like a classic teen film. Like, it is a beloved film. And I like the movie, sure. But I didn't realize, like, oh, it's a classic. Wow. But the quote that a couple of these articles, like actually many articles cited in regard to this whole Slutoween thing, is Halloween. There's a quote by Katie from that movie. Halloween is the one night of the year when you can dress like a slut and no other girls can say anything about it. And so basically, sadly true. But we have two girls in here, so you guys, you know, everything that I say, you guys verify for me. Tell me if this is accurate. This is all from an article or a couple articles I looked into.
But they still say it anyway.
What?
They'll still talk about you. Even though you're in a shorter dress, they'll still, they'll be in a shorter dress and they'll still be talking about you, about how short your dress is.
By the way, just on the topic of like just what I've seen from like the whole like sexy blank, like I once went to a party where I saw this girl who was dressed up as a wolf, but it was a sexy wolf. Sexy like wolf. But the funny thing is she had a legit looking like wolf mask, like it was like a legit snouty wolf mask. It just, she had like the bra thing though for the chest, you know.
So basically what she did is she's just like, I'm gonna wear a wolf mask in my underwear.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Done deal.
Yeah.
So the New York Times, in an article in 2006, cited that in their own like investigation and research, 90 to 95% of all female costumes fit into the sexy trope. Now, by the way, this is including
sexy lobster,
sexy whatever, sexy blank. They are including though this idea that I think this is actually kind of very negative and very damaging, right, to just women in general, is that they include the monikers that are not the term sexy, that they use for younger women, like children and tweens. Basically, like the evolution of the female costume follows the evolution of women, which is the growth of a woman. Girl, teenager, woman, right? The costumes go cute, sassy, sexy. Sassy is what they use for teenagers, and they make these models pose and stuff in ways that are not sexy per se, but it's very like come hither.
It's borderline.
And they describe it as, and some of these costumes are called sassy princess, sassy whatever. They use the word sassy instead of sexy, but it is kind of like they're grooming these women to like dress in this way. And I wish I wrote this down, but there was like this study that talked about like what is appealing or what is not appealing, and like a lot of these women, they believe it is appealing to dress like that because that's what like the commercial industry was like basically advertising, pushing on them. By the way, there's this really, I want to read it actually. I'm really curious. There was a master's thesis that was written by this woman named Elizabeth A. Greer, called The Rise of Slutoween, and she like breaks down a lot of these like stats and stuff about this whole thing. But here's how the tradition like evolved, or like how it became as is, just basic breakdown. In Scotland, right, as you guys mentioned, there was people dressing in costumes in Europe, sometimes to scare away demons if it's like more of a Christian setting. In some settings, they dressed in costumes because the demons or the ghosts walked among us, and then this way they'll feel more comfortable if there's other people that are like them and you don't know who's dead and who's not dead. And for this one night,
everyone's the same.
We're all interchangeable. Yeah. By the way, random thing. Somebody here mentioned this idea of, in Germany, you did. You have to hide the knives.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the reason why the hide the knife. Like, in Germany, they believe, or the superstition is, you should hide the knives on Halloween. But it's not for the reason you think. It's not because, a ghost might get it and get all stabby with you.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's for the opposite reason. Ghosts are really sensitive and they might get cut. So hide the knives so they don't get cut.
Alrighty.
So,
save the ghosts.
Save the ghosts.
You Germans.
So, they were dressing up in the 19th century like that. In the late 19th and 20th centuries, Halloween very much became an adult holiday where people were dressing in costumes, going to these parties and stuff like that. It was a very adult thing. Men would be dressing as like ghosts and goblins and vampires, things like that. Women would wear costumes that were more like gypsies or Egyptian princesses or whatever, things like that. However, the key thing though is they were going more for the exoticism of it. Like what they were going for was, look how exotic and different I look.
Look, I'm normally really white, but
now I'm an Egyptian princess. Exactly. That is Exactly the mentality. Yeah. Imagine basically 1920s flappers dressing as Egyptian princesses, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So that was the take on it back in that period. It was very straightforward. The way they described it in the article was a night to do something I ordinarily wouldn't do and have people look at me, which is kind of the motto or the mentality even now. You know, but in the 1950s, as you described, Mindy, Halloween became very commercialized. It became very focused on kids. The candy conglomerates in the industry, they got involved. And they're like, all right, let's just mass sell candy and promote this idea of. And remember that back in the 50s, that's the first time people experienced credit card debt. They were really pushing commercialism through television, and like it was
the American dream, baby.
Yeah, they created the idea of American commercialism back then. So this was all fitting in line with that idea. So in the 70s, though, right, the kids who grew up in the 50s with that idea became adults in the 70s, and that's the period of sexual liberation. And also, Halloween parades became really famous in New York City and San Francisco, specifically in the Village and San Francisco's Castro district, the gay and lesbian districts. So what they did was when they participated in their parades in the cities, they would wear these really like drag costumes or like very rebellious, sexy costumes. And that kind of became like globally popular to see them dressed that way for Halloween parades every year. So that mixed with the commercialism of, you know, the industries pushing commercialized costumes, commercialized candy, and then also the fact that in the 70s Halloween became very adult again, an adult holiday. It just kind of melded together to create this idea of creating sexy costumes for women as it went.
So really, if you're out on Halloween and you see some like really hot girls showing a lot of skin, you have gay people to thank.
Yeah, that is very true. Thank them. Yeah, that's it. So last thing I was going to say, though, is that as a part of that study that New York Times did, they found that 88 costumes, male costumes, focused on career-type costumes, doctors or what have you. Only 42 focused on women's, and usually they are very women-focused type careers, like nurse, cowgirl, like
sexy nurse.
Sexy all of them have skirts, right? Exactly. They're very sexualized.
Sexy construction worker.
They're saying now that the whole sexification of this industry, of these costumes, has become almost ironic, and now
like it's mustard, sexy lobster.
It's becoming ironic now, but still it is
still sexy.
Pushing this idea of objectification, sexualization. But yeah, I mean, there's actually a subreddit. The term used on the internet is slutoween to describe this sexification, objectification. But there's like a subreddit where it's just like the weirdest, craziest versions of these sexy costumes or whatever. But that's the history of how it came about, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was so upset when I was 20. I couldn't find a costume because I refused to wear any of those.
Yeah.
And I finally settled on a sexy mobster. Never got to wear it because I got so sick that I couldn't go. Yeah. I couldn't go out to the Castro, oddly enough, to go party. But yeah, I was so upset when I was 20 because I could not find a costume that wasn't sexy and then, like, basically a skirt up to my ass.
Yeah.
I think I haven't dressed up in years for Halloween. I think the last time I dressed up, though, and it was one of those things where, you know how Katie in Mean Girls goes to like a party dressed up as like a monster, I think it was, like a ghoul of some kind, a ghost, I don't know.
Yeah.
But everybody else was like sexy costumes or whatever, or like the guys even were wearing like very just like casual whatever costumes. Mm-hmm. I've had that similar scenario
where you were a non-sexy thing when you should have been sexy.
I mean, I shouldn't have been sexy, but I should have been something that's more pop aware as opposed to like, I don't know why. Listen, there's 18, 19-year-old Noosh, guys. Just listen, it's whatever.
You gotta forgive him for a lot.
I gotta forgive myself for a lot of things in my life. No, I mean, I'm really still kind of happy about it because I still have the costume. It's like really dope. But I made a Kingdom Hearts Sora costume. Like I legit made a Sora costume. I even spiked my hair. Or I got a wig and spiked my hair like Final Fantasy giant spiky style. Nice. And I went to school like that. I went to like a party like that. And then afterwards I realized, I went to work like that. I worked in a movie theater at the time, so I was like taking tickets. But afterwards I realized like, man, I mean, it's a cool costume. I love it. I had a badass like Keyblade, like legit. I had a bludgeoning weapon. I had it for a long time. And that was my whole thing. My whole thing was somebody busts into my house, a monster busts into my house. I got a weapon. I'm going to beat them down with. Like, I'm ready.
Well, if someone cut your hair, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, reach over. But I don't have it anymore. I lost it, actually, unfortunately. But I realized, I was like, oh, man, like, the one time I actually, as an adult, dress up for Halloween, and I'm like wearing a costume and nobody knows what it is really, and I'm just like, oh man, I actually see that costume sometimes in pictures of myself, and I'm just like, noosh. I'm glad you're so.
You do that thing where you shake your head because you physically feel like awkward again. Oh man, Jesus.
Yeah.
Speaking of costume, I was just going to throw in this fun fact I read when I was doing all this research that the mask that Michael wears in Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that's the mask itself is a William Shatner mask. They didn't have enough money for the makeup, so they just went and they found the cheapest mask they could find, which is a William Shatner mask, and they painted it white, and that's what he's wearing.
Oh, I'm so looking up pictures of this later.
Yeah. Wow.
And then there's another fact that William Shatner actually once wore his own face for Halloween. He went out like that and no one knew it was him.
Wait, why was there ever a William Shatner mask to begin with?
Who knows?
There was a time when he was big, you know?
Have you seen that thing where Kevin Spacey, I don't know where he is. He's like at a game or he's at something. And basically the camera is like pointing at these two people with like Kevin Spacey masks, like on a stick, like a little cutout thing. And then like one of them turns like directly at the camera and it pulls it down and it's Kevin Spacey. And he just goes like,
the Kevin Spacey
like,
smile. I love it.
What was this on?
It's just a thing I saw on Facebook. I have no idea what the context is, and I kind of don't ever want to know.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that Kevin Spacey wears his own face sometimes.
All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for our Halloween
our
episode.
First ever mediocre holiday special.
Dude, it is hard. Listen. Don't worry, we'll come back.
Other holidays will be
strong.
Better.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Thanksgiving is gonna be probably terrible.
I think Thanksgiving's gonna be kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Keep the expectations low.
Yeah, listen.
So.
All of our mourners should just understand that mediocre is what we're shooting for. So we'll surprise you, or we'll meet that expectation.
That's Ryan and I. We plan on doing this show for as long as we can, as long as we're able to. We talked about this, but really the thing about us is we're able to only maintain mediocrity right now until we can really focus some time
Quantity
on the show.
over quality.
It is really so for every show that's just for every time somebody listens, like, well, they're okay. We hope that one day we'll have a really good episode. I'd
like to believe that of the 7. Oh, dude! By the way, congrats!
Hey, congrats!
7 episodes.
Hey, congrats, Courtney!
Woo.
Yeah,
we broke the 7-episode curse.
I'd like to say out of the 7, we've at least had like 2, 3.
I feel like we've had 2 like really solid, good episodes. Listen, for you new listeners out there right now, I recommend the psychology episode.
You can't really recommend anything because I can't listen to any
Oh my gosh!
Except this garbage starting tomorrow.
We will try to get a website and have our episodes available to listen to. Really quick, we have to do our signal boost, and one thing I want to signal boost. This is a little bit of a story, but whatever, we got time. But there's a book. It's one of my favorite novels I just discovered a little bit ago, maybe like a year or 2 ago. It's called House of Leaves. It's a horror novel. Yeah, it's a horror novel. It's referred to as the Moby Dick of horror novels, specifically because it is extremely well written, but also because it's like over 1,000 pages long. It is a huge book. And what's also cool about it is before it was published, it was circulated in like Los Angeles among like tattoo artists and bars. Like it was like manuscripts just floated around before somebody discovered it, and they were like, whoa, this is amazing. But basically it's a horror novel that takes 3 different perspectives, I guess you could say. One is a story about a family in a haunted house, which I'm going to give you like a brief thing about.
That's real quick, I don't know why, but some dude totally was just like looking in here with the funniest face I've ever seen. Anyway, continue.
One story is about a haunted family that's experiencing a haunted house kind of situation.
Yeah.
The other part of the story, though, is it's written by this dude with the best name. His name's Johnny Truant, and he's a guy who's editing that book, the book that tells a story about this family and this haunted story that they experience. But the book he's editing was edited by somebody else who went insane editing that story. So you're reading a book with editor's notes from 2 different people, one who already went insane and one who's currently going insane about this family in a haunted house. What I love about the Johnny Truant stuff is it's basically him and his friend Lud strolling through Sunset Strip. No, the proper word's prowling through Sunset Strip, trying to like get drinks, get laid, party. But it's weird because he talks about that in the middle of editing this horror novel. But like what I really like about the horror in that story, though, it's very, very architectural horror, where basically, for one example of the horror is they're in this house, and the guy's an architect. The husband is an architect, and he measures every inch of this house, every nook and cranny, outside and inside, and he finds that the house is weirdly bigger by 1/4 of an inch on the inside than the outside. And so the wife's like, well, it's not a big deal. It's 1/4 of an inch. You probably have some like corner or something you missed, or it's it's something tucked away where you couldn't get to it. And he's like, no. Like he's like a famous architect. He's like, no, like this, like I know what I'm doing. Like this is weird. Like it should measure pretty accurately. It's off by 1/4 of an inch. So he calls in like this carpenter guy he knows. He calls in his brother-in-law, and like they work together. And they're like trying to find out what's going on. Like what did they miss, and how can they find this missing 1/4 of an inch in this house they moved into? The wife and like her sister-in-law, they're just like talking like, oh my gosh, the guys are crazy, they're so weird, whatever, and they're just talking or whatever. And she wanted, this is the horror factor, like how it escalates, but like she wanted to show her sister-in-law an album of like, of pictures or whatever, and they had a shelf pushed against the wall with like albums and books and whatever. So she reaches to get the album from the bookshelf, and when she grabs the album, she accidentally pushes it out the back of the shelf, and then she screams because the bookshelf is against the wall, and all of a sudden she realizes the house no longer is off by 1/4 of an inch. It's off by like 5 inches or 6 inches. It's grown since then, and little by little the house starts to get bigger and bigger, and they start seeing doors that shouldn't be there, and like it starts getting. And
That's
dude,
pretty cool.
Here's one of the things about how crazy this book is. This is something Ryan can attest to, because I told him about it and I showed him the book, and Ryan told me this. He just like I said, don't spoil anything for me, and Ryan's like, no problem, and he just like flips through the book, and he just like lands on like a random page at some point, and he says, dude, I don't want to tell you what's gonna happen in this book or how crazy this book is, but I just want to let you know at some point in the book, the entire page is just the letter R. Like, this book gets crazy.
Yeah. Did you ever finish it?
No, dude, I haven't had time, but I plan to. Like, I really want to finish it. It's like a brilliant, brilliant novel. I recommend it. It's called House of Leaves.
Have to look that
Check
up.
it out. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So
signal boosts for anyone else?
Is there anything you want to signal boost, Ryan?
No. Next.
What about you, Courtney?
No, nothing going
Anything?
on.
Okay.
Bakery's still there.
The bakery is still up and
Bakery is
running.
still there.
No. Like I remember you mentioned like maybe a month or two ago, like you had like a fire hydrant accident thing happen on the
Oh,
outside.
that happened earlier.
It's good now.
Before the summer, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's all good.
Cool.
No longer flooded.
Go check out Tasty Confections, French Confection, right? I finally learned the name.
The French Confection Co. Yes.
Still almost. You were close. You were close.
Yep.
Mindy, anything you want to signal boost?
Nope.
Okay, guys.
Easy. We got to do our
We gotta make sure
our exit stuff.
Yeah,
things.
we do.
Okay, so I wanted to pick a Halloween type song for
Halloween
our
episode.
exit. Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, I think Halloween music is pretty stupid. Monster Mash, stuff like that. So what I found was, and I think you have the phone, so you'll have to tell me the name of the artist. I don't remember the actual guy's name, but it's a bunch of letters in a row. He, she, or it. Basically, what they did was they took the Stranger Things theme and they took a Childish Gambino song and they mashed them together.
Yeah,
and it's sick.
It is.
It came out sick.
The artist or the person who mixed it is called KML.
No. That's the guy who uploaded
Kai
it.
Edits.
That's the guy who uploaded it.
Oh.
It should say by
KML.
Oh yeah.
KMJKL.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
like
I was wrong.
But I mean, so I'll give that. Okay. Well, we'll see.
Another semi-successful episode. Hooray!
Everybody listening at home.
Mourners. Tune in next week.
Mourners, tune in next week for
Do we get a hashtag?
Oh snap, dude!
I mean, I said noosh problems, but
we're not doing noosh problems for this. We will think of something else.
All right.
Hashtag poopy ghosts.
All right, guys. Have a great one. We'll see you next time.
Ryan and Noosh Are Dead is made possible thanks to KDHR, the student-operated radio station of California State University, Dominguez Hills. For more information about KDHR, please visit www.kdhr.net. The intro song for this show is Space Ace by Blind. This music is made available thanks to Overclocked Remix. For more information, please visit ocremix.org.